Welcome to Thrifty Garage under construction. Part of my mess, I'm in the middle of doing my pallet wood wall project, but I wanted to continue with some other videos. In the meantime, today I'm going to go over our winter fuel storage. I don't have too many gas-powered items here at the home. I do have this Honda lawnmower, as well as this steel weed whacker. This is a 2-stroke weed whacker, and then obviously a 4-stroke gas motor on this Honda. And aside from that, I've got my 2 vehicles that I drive on a regular basis. For this HRX lawnmower, Honda recommends for the 30 to 90 day storage that you fill the tank with fuel stabilizer, run the mower for 10 minutes, and then shut off the fuel valve, and then run it for an additional approximate 3 minutes until the mower runs out of fuel, and then storing it for that 30 to 90 day period of time. And what that gives you is stabilized fuel in the tank, which is completely full, and then it also clears the carburetor of any fuel particles that might gum up. Additionally, Honda recommends that you remove the spark plug and apply a lubricant to the piston. I'm not quite ready to store this mower for the season yet. I still want to use it for a few more weeks to clean up leaves. And at that time I'm ready for storage, I'll post a video of how to store this mower specifically. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to mix up the stabilizer for fuel storage. And let's go ahead and move this mower, and we'll bring you in for a closer look. When I think of fuel stabilizer, there's only one name that comes to mind, and that's Sta-Bil fuel stabilizer. And this video today is sponsored by Sta-Bil. And this is the products I'm going to use to winterize and store my fuel this season. If you check out my channel, I posted a similar storage video about a year ago this time, also using Sta-Bil fuel stabilizer. I actually had to go and research stabilizer to even find that there's other brands that make it. It's always what I've used, and I've never had an issue with it. It's never let me down. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to mix this into these 2 containers. I've also got this rust stopper, which I'll show in a future video on how to store my garden tools. I've also got this fogging oil, which I'll use when I winterize my lawnmower here in a couple weeks. So let's get to mixing this. Both of these containers have fresh gas in them. This is a 1-gallon container, and this is a 5-gallon container. I always use ethanol-free gas with my small motors. On this 5-gallon container, if we read the directions here, 1 ounce treats 2.5 gallons. So for this 5-gallon container, I'll use 2 ounces. And for this 1.25 gallon container, I will use a little bit less than half an ounce. Let's go ahead and remove these lids. And I'm going to go ahead and use a container I've already got open. And this fuel stabilizer is good for 2 years after you've opened it. And I opened this on 10/31 of last year, so this is good for about a year. And these containers are pretty nifty. So you squeeze out, it runs up the side there, and you fill it up until it's to 1 ounce. You want to make sure when you pour it in that you pour it away with a tube on top, so that the liquid doesn't run back into the container. Squeeze it again. We'll do a half an ounce for this next one. Put this half ounce in here. Put this lid on. Usually when I add fuel stabilizer, I'll add it before I go to the gas station, and then that way the fuel going into the container will mix it up real well. But since we didn't do that, we'll just go ahead and shake it up real good, make sure it's mixed up well, and then this should be good for another, according to Honda on their machines, 30 to 90 days. You know, for me, I always want to make sure I've got fresh fuel before winter. If my vehicles ever need fuel here at the home, I can use this container. It's just good for an emergency throughout the winter, extra 5 gallons. Amongst a few other things I do to these machines to keep them winterized and stored well for the winter season, they're ready to go the next spring. Thanks for watching this Thrifty Garage video. I appreciate you sticking through the end. If you would, leave a comment, any questions you might have. Give me a like if you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out any videos I have in the future, look at my channel and see what else I've got, as well as subscribe. Again, thanks for watching.